Did you know that right now, at this very second, there is a house spinning around the world? It is a house where people sleep, eat, and work, all while traveling 10 times faster than a bullet. It's not a movie, and it's not a dream. It is a massive 450-ton machine called the International Space Station, and it is silently passing right over your head. But how does a giant metal city stay in the sky without ever falling down? Let's step inside the most incredible journey humanity has ever taken.
Hello and welcome. If you're new here, welcome to Amazing 5.
Our journey begins with a simple question. If you throw a ball into the air, it falls back to the ground. Gravity always wins. So, why doesn't the International Space Station crash into the ocean? The answer isn't magic, it's a beautiful dance with physics. Imagine you are standing on a very high mountain and you throw a rock. It travels a bit and then hits the ground. Now imagine you throw it with the power of a rocket. The rock travels so fast that as it falls, the Earth actually curves away beneath it. That is exactly what the IS is doing. It is constantly falling toward the Earth, but it is moving at a staggering speed of 27,000 kilometers per hour. It's moving so fast that it literally misses the ground every single time. It is trapped in a perpetual fall, circling our planet once every 90 minutes. Because of this speed, the people inside get to witness 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every single day. But what is it like to actually live in a flying house? Step through the hatch, and your world flips upside down, literally. In the IS, up and down have no meaning. You can sleep on the ceiling, eat on the walls, and fly through hallways like a superhero. But living in zero gravity is a challenge that turns even the simplest tasks into an adventure. Think about your morning routine. On Earth, you brush your teeth and spit into the sink. In space, if you spit, your toothpaste becomes a floating white blob that could drift into $1 million computer. Astronauts have a choice: swallow the toothpaste or spit it into a towel. Want a cup of coffee? You can forget about your favorite mug. Liquid doesn't stay in a cup. It forms a trembling sphere in the air. To drink, you have to suck your coffee out of a sealed pouch through a straw. Perhaps the most mind-blowing part of life on the IS is the water. Up there, every drop is precious. There are no lakes or rivers, and sending water up on a rocket costs a fortune. So, the IS uses a high-tech recycling system. Every bit of moisture, the sweat from an astronaut's workout, the steam from their breath, and yes, even their urine, is collected, filtered, and purified. It is turned back into water that is cleaner than what most people drink on Earth. As the saying goes in space, yesterday's coffee becomes tomorrow's coffee. You might wonder, where does the power come from for all this equipment? The IS is like a giant solar-powered bird. It has massive gold-colored wings made of solar panels that catch the sunlight and turn it into electricity. This power runs the computers, the life support, and the science experiments. When the station moves into the dark shadow of the Earth, it relies on high-capacity batteries charged during the day to keep the lights on. But why do we do it? Why spend billions of dollars to keep a few people floating in a tin can? It's because the IS is the world's greatest laboratory. It is a place where we can study things that are impossible to understand on Earth. We watch how fire burns in space, how plants grow without soil, and how the human body changes when gravity is gone. We have learned that without gravity, our bones get weaker, and our hearts don't have to pump as hard. This research isn't just for astronauts. It helps us develop new medicines and technologies for people right here on the ground. More importantly, the IS is a symbol of peace. It was built by 5 different space agencies and 15 different countries. While there might be tension and borders on the ground, in the IS, everyone is part of the same crew. They eat together, laugh together, and look out the window at our planet. A beautiful, fragile blue marble without any borders at all. However, even the greatest journeys must eventually come to an end. The IS is getting old. It has been in orbit for over 2 decades, and it is starting to show its age. There are tiny leaks and systems that need constant repair. NASA and its partners are planning to retire the station by the year 2030. After that, it will be guided back into the Earth's atmosphere, where it will burn up like a falling star, ending its mission in a final flash of glory. But the end of the IS isn't the end of our story. It is just the first step. By the time it retires, we will likely have bases on the moon and private space stations orbiting the Earth. Our children might even be preparing for the first trip to Mars. So, the next time you are outside on a clear night, look up. If you see a bright, steady light moving across the stars, stop for a second. That is the International Space Station. Remember that inside that tiny dot, there are human beings, our explorers, our dreamers, reminding us that as long as we keep looking up, there is nothing humanity cannot achieve.